There's this space in my mind that is always constantly pushing me towards greatness, to the point where it's like everything that I pick up or try to do, my mind will not allow me to stop at it until I'm one of the best. But then there's this other side of my mind that tries to force me into being comfortable to the point where it's truly a fear of failure, a fear of people seeing me at my weakest point. It's a fear of embarrassment. And these two entities in my mind are constantly at war with each other, and I'm just a product of it. When it's not controlled, it's so easy to get pulled back and forth by each side to the point where I can't handle it. Piloting that, it allows me to be the most successful I am, not because I want to, but because I have to. Growing up, I've always had this extreme fascination with music. When I was 14 years old, I started making music in the form of Lil Raspy.
I remember when Jake released one of his first songs. It was in high school and it was titled Bitch Borrowed. Did I learn every word to that song? Yes. Do I still ask Jake to play it today? Yes. Did he take a lot of heat for that song in high school? 100%.
The song became a meme. I got made fun of so much for that song. People bullied me, they'd sing the lyrics in funny voices, and it set me back a minute from my music making career. After I took all the criticism and getting made fun of and all that, I saw that I could use music as a form of therapy, where I couldn't talk to my friends and family about how I felt. I could sure as hell tell the microphone how I felt. I started phasing into producing music, creating instrumentals. After my producing, I was driving around the streets of where I'm from and stopped by a pawn shop, looked around, and I saw a mixing board, and it took me about 1 second for me to realize that's my next path for music.
He called me up, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a DJ. To be honest, I did not have a lot of faith in him. I was there when Raspy got his very first mixing board, and at first I saw him DJing like our little just friend get together 4-person parties.
I'd be DJing, but no one really recognized me DJing. They're too busy playing Pong and all that.
He didn't know what he was doing at all. It wasn't great, not gonna lie.
So I literally take those 4-people parties, go back into my closet, keep practicing, getting better and better.
He'd call me up, tell me to come over, check out some sick transitions he was doing. And that's when I was like, all right, this kid's got something, he's gonna go somewhere. And through that, and through being tailgate chair at Sigma Nu, I was able to bring him to our tailgates and give him a stage to perform on. He set the place on fire. We literally had people jumping up on the roof, like going crazy, having a good time. And it's truly been amazing watching him grow from being that kid with a mixing board for the first time, not even knowing where all the controls are, to the DJ Spin Dingo that we all know and love. Sometimes things do go wrong during the performance and we can't control it. Raspy can't control it. He may look very cool, calm, and collected on the outside and not let that affect, what everyone else sees of his performance. But I know on the inside, he's freaking out. He's in his head. He becomes very reclusive.
It's like when all the eyes are on you, you automatically think that everybody knows the mistake that you made and that they're judging you for it. And it's just like you just want to disappear. You don't want to be seen by anybody at that point. And when you're the life of the party, it's hard to do that.
When those things go wrong while I'm DJing, it just puts me in a headspace where I just don't want to be there. We've always ran into problems with the weather at our outside venues. We pull up to these venues, having everything set up, it takes us a little bit of time to set them up. And all of a sudden we start seeing raindrops on my computer screen or raindrops on my mixing board. we have to unplug everything, disassemble everything, and move it under cover. It really rattles me. But when like one thing goes wrong, I'm just rattled and like kind of live in my head after that. To cope with it or to go above it is I allow myself to just get lost in the music. And I also, my friends, they all come out and support me. Rod, Jordan, Cooper.
All I try to do is bring him aside, show him like that he's doing a great job and some things he can't control, and to roll with the punches.
Without my boys with me supporting me since day one, a constant support system in my life, like they were there when I was coming up, they would be like, that needs work, like that transition was not it, my friend. But they were there with me the entire time. I looked to my left and right, and right there. And they just make me feel a lot more comfortable knowing that I have people around me showing love and supporting what I do.
I rushed the University of Florida chapter of Sigma Nu in spring 2019. Through Sigma Nu, I met Zach Braswell. So I first met Raspy from his older brother Zach, bringing him around to the house and parties and events and stuff. We quickly became good friends. We started hanging out more outside the chapter. There was playing Smash or playing Pokemon. We would literally like show up to events and stuff with our Game Boys connected with a link cable. You know, just vibing out, not really caring what anyone else thought. He has my full support and all of my faith in him.
They always make me feel like whatever I can do, as long as I try at it and don't give up at the first hill, then I'm golden. I can do it. There was a time in my life where I would be in this state of mind where it's like, yeah, tomorrow I'll do something about it. Tomorrow. And it was a constant pushback until I found myself in this zombified state where I would look at myself and the same person that had this drive, this producer drive, this musical drive, wasn't there anymore.
Like I was hearing that he wasn't doing great in school. His music career, he wasn't really working on it anymore. He wasn't putting time into producing anything or writing any lyrics.
I was in this state where tomorrow was years away and it was my life. And I learned to love it to a point where it was toxic. I hadn't touched my laptop to make music in months and it was fine. I was doing bad in school, but it was fine because I had a job. The job didn't take me anywhere.
COVID hit and school shut down. We were all forced to go home. Once we got back home, the family was all back together. We were all hanging out. Friends were back home. So it seemed like he was doing a little bit better to me. But this told me that Jake needed a new environment. He wasn't doing great by himself. He needed friends to be around and family. So when we moved back up, I told Jake he should come back up with us. And I convinced him and my parents to get him back up to Gainesville. For my entire life, my parents worked extremely hard. They left for work at 6 a.m. and weren't home till 6 or 7 p.m., just in time for dinner. And then after dinner, they would usually still have work. It became apparent that in order to succeed in life and to do what you love, you have to work hard and be persistent. And I think this really speaks to Jake.
During the time that my mental health hit an all-time low, I remember my sister reaching out to me and saying, hey, we just got a house in Gainesville, come on. And in my head I was like, what does Gainesville have that I don't have right here in this room I have? And I was very resistant about it. I said, yeah, I don't know, I got a life down here. And she said, Jake, come. So I said, you know, I'll do it. Packed up my stuff and I moved up. Pulled up into the driveway and saw this rank ass house. Like, it had trees all over the place, vines on the roof. I was like, this is the house I'm moving into, huh?
I started noticing that Jake was acting like his normal self again. And this is when I really saw his music career take off. He was producing beats, He was making friends with a lot of musically talented people, and he just seemed genuinely happier to me.
And at that same house that I called hideous, looked like a homeless shelter, I learned how to truly love myself and be myself and accept who I am as a person. And like the house, I'm also rough around the edges, but deep inside there's more intricate, beautiful parts of me. And don't get me wrong, I love where I grew up. I had great times there and great memories, but in Gainesville, in that very house, is where I truly found myself.
Not only as an artist, but also as a DJ.
It's beautiful because I pull up to these venues and in a way it's nobody knows who I am. They just know me as the life of the party.
I always find that I gotta leave it at the door or put on a mask where I'm this lit ass DJ that's turning up the party. And with all the lights going and all the people raging and me behind the wheel of it does make you feel like Boston, this feeling where nothing matters but that time right there.
It's always hard when you find yourself at the center of attention with the spotlight always on you. I gotta act like I'm living the party all day, every day. And sometimes it gets tiring and like it emotionally draws on me when it's like some people I can't be real with and it's like some people I can't let them see who I really am. And sometimes I just don't want to be the life of the party. Before the gigs start, me and my boys will all be just sitting in a room and it's like the most beautiful, perfect calm before the storm. With all these things going on inside my head, the minute I step outside the door, it doesn't matter if I'm ready or not. The show goes on.
Ready for this shit?
Right?
Guess it's safe to say that I pay my way, pushing back the heat, running for the day. Loose lips knock me for the pain on the day, tatted on my brain, living on the struggle bus, pushing past the line. What you see is what you get, you're acting blind. I'm rapping fine, I'm saying fair. I skip the line, you pose your hair, you pay his fare. I buy the store and want some more. I made you mine, can't find the time, and oftentimes I lose my mind. But walk inside, you see the signs, you got it right, but I had left unapologetic. I ain't